Welcome to runout.tv. It's Mal here, and there I am, just about to break off in a match against my good friend Steve. Riley's just played a few games and recorded with my new camera, so let's see how that goes today. We're just going to play a few racks. We played actually a race to 9, Steve getting the 6th start, but I haven't got every rack on here. Actually 198. We'll just test out the camera to see what sort of settings gets done. It was recorded on the HD settings, which I think is 1080i 50p, whatever that thing is. But here we are on the 2 ball, everything. We nearly wobbled that one.
That was not good.
So nice, you got a couple of choices here. I could have screwed back towards the 7, which is what I do, or I could have top spin through to take a long pink. Always a risk that you can go behind the 7 there. Tough to bridge. Took a few goes before I felt comfortable. One of the criticisms you can give to me is that I play too fast. There's certainly a little bit of weight in that argument, I think. A little bit of weight in me, to be honest. I didn't realise how big I'd got, but I'm joining the gym tomorrow. And hopefully that's going to see me slim down. It's all going to help my pool. Tough 7 ball here. And I took a moment because the obvious shot's top spin, but you end up back in the middle of the table. So the shot here was to play it with a lot of side and use that to come down, but you always have to watch that middle pocket, so it's a little bit scary. Played with a little bit of pace there, ended up not in the best of places. That was pretty stuck there, so it's just a case of queuing straight here. And there's the 9 ball down, so into the next rack, Steve to break. Did a bit of top spin and got an unlucky kiss off the 7 ball there, and ended up leaving himself with leaving me a ball in hand. Now, if you notice there, we're using the racking device, which helps get a tight rack, and we're using the Aramith Pro TV cut balls, which I'm going to do a review of at some point soon. Got a little bit of a problem here. I've just got to do a little bit of a screw back. I didn't really get into the white very well there. It wasn't a very good shot. So left myself a long 3. Here the ball's thundering in. I didn't realise how good the mic was on this. So the only real decision to make in this rack now is whether I play a little bit of a screw back shot here and just roll this in and play off one cushion, or whether I come around the back of it. Now I end up coming around the back of it, and it actually ends up costing me the frame, because I left myself really nasty here. Really it should have been just a case of rolling it in. So lean over the table, play it very fast, jump out the way, looking for some help. Give me a laugh there, just left it pretty awkward. Now I've got a tendency to hit these shots thick. And I hit it very thick, and I was actually surprised that went down. Even looking at it again, I'm surprised that went down. long 9, down far too fast. And you could hear what actually happened was the cue hit the back wall. So I let Steve in there with a 9 ball. So disappointing. I could have had 2 run-outs, but wasn't to be this time. Now Steve's an amateur player, just in the game, so don't be too hard on him. He's very keen to improve. Yeah, I won ball in hand there, so that was quite nice. But yeah, he's doing well, getting himself. He played some nice shots during this match, which you'll see a bit later. Bad break off me there. The time when you're playing 9 ball and you sort of break like that, it's a really bad thing to just go straight into the middle. It just shows that you played it all wrong. There's a nice shot of Steve's cue action. As you can see, it's not too bad. He made a bit of a mess of that one, but he does get better. I think the camera spooked him a little bit to start with.
Rubbish.
I said it. That was a pretty bad one. So I've left myself a double on the 2. I've got a lot better at these since I started playing Virtual Pool 4. And there we go, that's a nice shot here. Now I fall into a bad trap here.
No.
And that was a really bad shot. That was just really poor. So what Steve wants to do here is to pop the red and maybe top spin off the back cushion and get down for the orange. Not the tough run out, but where it gets hardest from the 7 to the 8. So we got nicely through that shot there, stuck the white. Problem is, by either not top spinning or back spinning back, he's left himself in a bit of a spot here. So he's now got to come up and down from the 5 ball back up towards the 6. Potted it nicely. He got a great kiss on the 7. So it's pretty much the same shot really. He's got to do exactly what he's just done again. A little bit hampered by the 8. Just didn't quite get enough topspin on the white there, but still a makeable shot he's left, but it is tough. And he's left a tough 7, and the problem was the 8. As I take a look there, the 8 is right on the back cushion. It will cut, but not very well, so I've got to pull out a decent clearance here to win. That was a nice shot there. So I've got a tight shot here on the black. Play a nice cut shot. Very thin there, thinner than it looked. The white took a big dive off that back cushion. Just composing myself for the 9 ball, don't want to make any silly mistakes here. Gobble gobble around the pocket, I like to call that one. But it drops, so that's the main thing. Steve losing the white again, just sort of cutting across the rack a little bit. But not getting any balls down, so it's up to me. Just getting rid of the racking device. Some players don't get rid of it, but I like to get it off the table. So I played a nice shot there, just span around the 5 ball, left to white the top cushion. Tough for Steve to hit this ball off one cushion. Wasn't to be honest, he was unlucky there, just to, left himself a bit tough. So I can start to try and clear up here. Now this, for a good player, this should be a rack that you clear up more often than not, really. So I don't particularly feel good about the fact that I don't manage to do it. I put a lot of side spin on that ball. Wasn't quite sure where I got that side spin from, if I'm honest. And then I've got to put another quite a similar shot here. And if anything, I just gave it a bit too much juice there. Left myself a really sort of hard shot on the 4. Now this is where I rush and I don't think things through, because I play this shot very, very hard. Just moving the old chair out of the way so I can cue properly. Sometimes you can fall into the trap when you're playing 9-ball of trying to leave things too nice, and I think that's what I do here. And I pummeled it into the jaws. I do hit the ball too hard as well. I am a bit of a slow roller, believe it or not, but certainly not on this occasion. I was a little bit didn't do too good there. So here's Steve to try and, looks a bit like he's stretching a bit, but he's doing it nicely. Now I know Steve won't mind me telling you that he is Keeps21 on Twitter, KEEPS21, and when he's playing VP4, he likes Virtual Pool 4. When he's playing that game, he does have a tendency to just roll it in and leave himself tough shots, which is okay, because when he can do this, he can get away with it. But unfortunately, he didn't land on the green ball, but it was a nice fluke. So now really it's a case of just containing, and Steve does a great job there in just putting the, I tapped the table in appreciation. It was a lovely shot there. Nothing really more else I can do here apart from just give it a good hit. You never know, I might pot it, and I do actually get very lucky that they end up touching each other. Now this ball, you can easily hit these way too thick. What you have to do is really thin hit him, and he does hit it too thick, and unfortunately for him, he leaves the green right over the pocket on what looks like to be an easy run out. But this is a fast table. It's recently been re-cushioned, and I think I got away with it a bit there, because it looked like for a second it was going to look like I might just mess it up. But I didn't. So, me to break this time. So if you're playing the 3-point rule there, that would have been a foul break, which means that you would have the option to put me in or not. So to explain that to Steve, just so we knew where we were. We weren't actually playing the 3-point rule today, but if we were, Steve could have put me back in. Of course he wouldn't have done that, because the balls are very nice. So what he wants to do here, he's got the plant 1 onto the 5, and then really you want to play that very softly. But Steve plays it a little bit harder, but he actually does it well and leaves himself a long 1. But I guess the obvious thing here when you're looking at this shot, and I did see it as I was waiting for him to queue up, you've got to watch the enough here. You've either got to play it with a lot of top. I don't even think you can play it with a lot of top. I think you've just got to play it with a lot of bottom left and hope for the best. But Steve plays a pretty much full ball, misses the pot, and leaves himself in a bit of bother. Now again, I wasn't overly happy with the way I was playing today, because I wanted to be running some of these racks out, and unfortunately that's not really what's happening. I must admit, if I'm honest, I'm going to be very honest with you guys, and this is another blog that I'm doing a different blog on YouTube, where I'm doing some YouTube videos, and I have put some weight on recently, which is disappointing because I was already a heavy guy. And I'm going to have to lose that, get myself back in some shape, hopefully. That's the plan. Try and fuel the pool. This is a nice shot on the 4-ball. Now here I wasn't really sure why I left myself the way I did, and I ended up powering it in, and I somehow got a real kick off the cushion. It's because of the new cushions, and it looks like I could pot this, but I actually couldn't, which is a disappointment. So I had to spin it. I was trying to spin it in, but in the end I just left it on, which wasn't great. And we entered into a series of sort of bizarre shots, really. Steve just looking to cut this in and come back across the table. Not sure how much he really believed he was going to get that shot, but this looked to me to be dead on for a double, so I thought, why not? Practicing, I'll have a go at it. And just stayed up. But I think I managed to get the snooker. Now I think for me the shot is to go right up the table and aim for the spot, but Steve decided to go across the table. I don't know whether when he watches this back, he might think going up and down is probably the easiest way, but he played in the end a shot here and it didn't manage to get it. And especially me being a left-hander, it was probably easier for him to go up and down the table. Again, I'm not too well, but I managed to just deposit that in. So off we go again for another frame. I think we'll play another 2 racks if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure. So Steve got the 9 moving a bit there, but that might have even been heading towards the pocket, I'm not sure. Racking device off the table. And this is a pretty ugly board when you look at it. Very awkward 4-ball, very awkward 5. The 4's the toughest ball but if you pot that and get onto the 5, you're going to open the others up. So, you know, all is not lost in this rack. Steve did a lovely double and got really unlucky, and that really went hard. That just went right behind the 9-ball. Neither of us have a jump cue, by the way. I can use a jump cue, but tend not to use it. No, he's really unlucky what he did there with the he opened up most of the balls, so I've got a chance to now that white just died an ugly grisly death, and I thought I could reach it, but I couldn't, so I had to go and get the old rest, which is actually the black sort of cue thing, which wasn't actually on queued up properly. It's on the end of my brake cue. You won't be able to tell from here, it was actually moving forward, so I was a bit uncertain as to what was going on here. I'm really bad with the rest. It's not. That's actually a decent. That's probably as good as I get with the rest, actually. I was secretly patting myself on the back as I came round to take on this 4-ball. So really, what I want to do here is to screw back, but I don't want to leave myself behind the 9-ball at all. I want to hit this in and either leave it there or leave it in the middle of the table. And I left myself right bang on. So really, as you can see, I'm creating problems for myself by making the position difficult. And you know, I'm at the point again where I'm playing another recovery shot, and it's going to be very difficult to run out from here. So really all I'm looking to do here is just roll it in and take on the tough 7. But again, the 7-ball's now going to be a recovery shot, when really it should have been a straightforward run out where I could just play a position, maybe coming back across to the left-hand side of the table, and the run out is very much more straightforward than what it turns out to be. So now I'm on the recovery 7, and I missed the ball. That was a bad miss. I shouldn't have missed that ball. I should have played it a lot better, but leave Steve a chance to have a go at the 7-ball. And you know, this rack would normally be thrown away by me, so it's up to Steve now to see if he can. He was just pushing a little bit where he was trying to get the trying to force the position a little bit. And one of the easiest things you can do in pool, especially when you're first starting out, is to convince yourself that the angle's on when it isn't. I just cut up the cushion. That's a shot that I'm going to practice because I think I should have done better there. When you get chances off your opponent like that, you've got to take them. As I start to practice more and you're going to see more videos, you're going to want to see me potting those because that's one of my targets, to be a bit more clinical. Steve played that really nicely, manages to avoid the middle and leaves himself a tough 8 ball, very similar to the 9 I hit in the first rack to win the rack. So he's plays a lovely 8 ball there and leaves great position on the 9. Takes chalk. It's nice to see that 9 go down. Good clearance from the 7. It wasn't easy. And he's breaking from the kind of the break box. Gives it a good hit. Nearly got the white in again. So I thought if I can get this 1 ball in, then I should land on the 2, and if I don't get the 1, I should hopefully snooker him on using the 2 ball. So that was the thought process going on there. Didn't get it, and unfortunately for me, although it looks like I've got him tight, I'd actually shot around the back of the 2. So Steve has a chance now to lay a nice snooker on me. And did a great job, really good shot there. So all I can do really is give a good solid hit and try and put some distance between the 2 balls. So really the shot here for Steve is probably to hit the yellow up and down and leave the white behind the colours at the bottom. What he's done, unfortunately for him, is to leave the balls in the middle, so it gives me the chance now to lay a similar safety. And I managed to nail him up really tight there, which was nice. And he really didn't have that much of a shot here. I don't know how. I think maybe twice across, going between the 4 and the 5, but you know, to hit this and then hit a cushion it was almost impossible. And he hit that, and as you can see, the new cushion bounced about a bit and actually sent the white off the table. I left myself a round the world shot. Now this would normally be me hitting this with a lot of top right, swinging around 3 cushions and landing where I'm pointing now, but wasn't even anywhere near. I mean, I missed the pot by a mile. But I'll be drilling those ones for certain because that was a horrible shot. So Steve has a chance to have a go at the shot I've just played. Played it with a lot of pace, and actually, you know, he didn't have the cue power to get round, but he played that shot well. But it's a really hard shot to play, but I'm going to practice those because usually if I'm playing well, those are the types of shots that I managed to hit. That was a lovely hit on the 3. Just took a real thin edge, that's all he could get, so it was a really nice shot there. Similar for me. It's not the fastest table, you know, that pretty much slowed down. It was like, I would have thought that would have been on the back cushion. It was easy enough to get a nice solid hit behind the red. So now Steve again is probably just going to want to come off the top cushion, leave the white behind the 7, send the red down table. But he chose a different route, shot straight through and got it. I didn't even think that was on. I don't know how he found that gap. He said he was looking for getting the red just down table and reevaluating where he was for, you know, probably leaving me behind the 9, that was the target, but left himself still at the table. It's always nice to be at the table. Got a cracking pot. Unfortunately, those types of angles, it's always very easy to pot the 9 as well, to pot the white, sorry, as well. So these are kind of bread and butter clearances. You just simply have to be potting these if you want to be a tour player, I think. And I'm not saying that because I pot them. I think I do, if I remember. But these are the types I really can't afford to miss. That shot worked out nice, but again the white came a lot slower than what I thought it would. And we win the rack. So keep an eye on the 9 here. Not here, must be a different one.
Push out, dude. Do a better job than the last push out.
Now, where would you push to on this table? Maybe even pause the video and have a look. As I remember, I made a real meal of it. If I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong. I don't actually remember what I did here. So I left him what I think was a decent push out.
Pass.
He's looking for like a 40-60 shot where they don't want to give you it back, but they don't want to take it. But he gave it back, and I was aiming to go around the world there. And unfortunately, I left a pretty awful. I left a pretty awful shot. Now, what he has here, and this was actually the deciding frame. Actually, it was actually 8-8, I think, in our little handicap. He had a 6 start, and obviously the 2 9 sticking out. So he was trying to get on that, and that is a really lovely positional shot here. And that bounce probably just made it really hard. And he's now looking at the 2 to 9 combination for the match. But he made, to be fair to him, he made a bit of a mess of it. But it was there, and he did a great effort to get on it from the 1. So we're at 8 apiece, and I'm looking at getting right around the table off the 2. And this is probably the nicest shot that I played all day. And I saved it until last. And now really it's a case of just keeping yourself together and taking out the run as best you can. Now this shot is rack to a danger. You're always looking at the middle bag. Don't leave yourself potting in the middle pocket. For a split second there, I thought I had just done that, but luckily it was all right. So just 3 balls to go. You can go around 3 cushions. You can go off 1 cushion with a bit of side, which is what I did. And then this shot is either a screw back or top spin. Played a nice screw back shot and left myself a 9 for the match. So good match, Steve. Enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.